Jake Noecker here at Team Taino. With me today, Andre Petroski fighting at UFC 292, Gerald Meerschaert. Let me start with, you were supposed to fight Armin Petrosian. You were out with an injury. Can you just detail a little bit what that injury was? And I assume you're all good to go now. You look great training.
Yeah, so I tore my rotator cuff, and it was less than 50% width on the tear, so I ended up not needing surgery. The UFC helped me out a ton. They sent me stem cells, found me good physical therapy. I did rehab on it, and knock on wood, luckily today, I have no problems with it. So, yeah, I'm grateful.
And Gerald Meerschaert, how did this fight come to be? He's kind of been a name in your guys' camp recently. Have you guys ever met before? What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, so I initially asked for this fight way back when during the Maximov fight, just because he had the most submissions in the division's history. And so I've continued to make the same argument that I'm the best grappler in this division. And so taking out the guy who has the most submissions, only adds a feather to my cap.
And I know you and Pyfer trained together at Marquez, and Pyfer just beat GM3 in grappling and MMA. So how closely have you been working with Pyfer, and has he had any insight for this fight?
Yeah, I mean, me and Joe have been teammates since before we came to this team. We've been teammates since our amateur days. But Joey just had surgery, so he's been out for a little bit. But we talk here and there, and he definitely helps me. But more importantly, my coaches have prepared for this opponent twice now. So this will be, my coaches are well rehearsed on Meerschaert and what he doesn't like and what he does like.
You've been out since November, right? UFC 281, I believe it was. Have you liked this long camp? I know you're hungry to get back in there, but is this long camp like a blessing in disguise for you?
No, I like. I don't hate training, but I got into this sport to compete. I love competing. That's where my passion is. I love fighting. This is just a requirement. You know what I mean? I love training sometimes, but I love competing. I love fighting. It's just different.
And Marquez MMA, Jonathan Webb Fitness and MMA, Team Taino, where we are right now with Eddie Torres. Who's going to be in your corner? You have so many talented people in your camps.
Yeah, so all three. So Eddie will be there, Jonathan will be there, and John Marquez will be in my corner as well.
That's a strong, strong corner heading to Boston. And what are your thoughts on Boston? Are you excited to go there? It's not necessarily backyard, but it's East Coast, close enough.
Yeah, so the last time I was at TD Garden, I was there. Paul Felder fought Crookshank. He choked him out. And Dominic Cruz beat TJ Dillashaw. And I got food poisoning the morning of the fight. So I was still at the fights in the arena, just sick as a dog in the bathroom. I would come out in between fights and try to catch some of the fight, but I was so sick. So, yeah, the last time, this is definitely going to be a better experience for sure. And
rest of 2023, 2024, that's coming up soon. I know you've been calling out a certain guy's name, a fight you want. Just tell my fans, the people watching this interview, what's happening, bro.
I mean, I would love to fight Bo Nickal. Like I said, I'm continuing to make the argument that I'm the best grappler in this division. I continue to prove myself. I continue to prove so. And so, anyone that thinks that they got better grappling than me, I want the smoke. I want Bo Nickal, and there's going to be 2 more cards on the East Coast this year, so I want to be a part of them.
And that's Madison Square Garden in November we're looking at, and then potentially Atlantic City in December. So which would you prefer, MSG again or Bo Nickal and you War at the Shore?
Oh, definitely at the Shore, definitely. But I loved MSG. That was a tremendous experience. Eddie was out there with me, and that was a memorable experience. That's the pinnacle. The MSG is the pinnacle of fighting. So many legends have fought there, and it was a great experience. But my first ever amateur fight was at the Borgata in Atlantic City, and I haven't been back since. So I haven't fought in Atlantic City since, and I would love the opportunity to go back.
And then last one from me here. You said you kind of saw the interview GM3 had where he talked about you. He wasn't necessarily talking smack. He had a lot of respect for you, but he did say 2 things. He said he wanted to beat the shit out of you, and he said you have a very punchable face. So what do you got to tell Gerald, man?
Well, the first part is it's an interesting take from someone who's 0-2 against my coaches. So twice he has geared up, suited up, put the gloves on, or grappled against my team. He's 0-2. So it's an interesting take on it. And I can't disagree. I think I have a pretty punchable face myself, if I'm being honest.
Well, I guess in MMA you want a punchable face so you can piss people off and punch them back. But ladies and gentlemen, Andre Petroski, UFC 292 on pay-per-view in Boston. Good luck, man.
Thanks, Jake.